Hello, and welcome to Paradigm Blog. How can we live by our values? And furthermore, how can we contribute something to the world around us and make it better? Those are my two main topics and interests in life. Next topic is about two greatly distinctive philosophies of leadership. With the term philosophies, I want to emphasize the all-around different thinking about leadership and leadership behavior. In one and the other approach, leaders just think and act in very different ways. No, one is a leadership pattern called performance building. In this one, leaders are the ones called by owners to guarantee their business and financial success. As they are the ones fully responsible for the end result, they tend to establish high-level control systems. They want to know what is going on in the company, and they want to make sure everyone is doing their thing the way they should. This pattern is built on that foundation of holding, possibly entire, responsibility for the result, which is a ground that drives individuals in these roles to build strict autocratic systems. Being responsible for the conduct of others as well, you want to control them and make sure they do as they must. And you take the decisions. No, two is a different approach. It is called institution building. These leaders do not fish for results or outcomes directly, but rather indirectly. Institutions are elements of a system that have a great influence on something. And in a business unit, that something is a long-run business success. They understand that success in an organization comes from well-established and well-chosen and designed organizational structure, organizational culture, an appropriate and well-functioning reward system, a system for career development, and so on. And of course, by identifying a joint or shared purpose and vision for an organization. This approach opens things up. Those leaders are so-called platform leaders that build the ground and focus on enabling others. They are known to better motivate, include, and activate a wider part of members of organizations. They can foster the perception of justice, as they put efforts into the reward system, the relationships, as they put efforts into establishing a good climate and appropriate culture, and so on. They need to be management and leadership professionals, as they need to see all the aforementioned parts of an organization and be able to develop each one of them. They are known to better achieve the notion of a modern-led system in which they say, make an organization think and solve problems with as many heads or minds that there are in that organization. Today's world is often called a quantum world, not just in physics, but otherwise. This denotation emphasizes that the world is very complex, with many ties connecting many of its parts. In such complexity, it is said that a leader cannot be able to control well to begin with. So that old habits of leadership should, due time, be forgotten. Furthermore, human capital is becoming of ever greater importance, since it brings creativity, innovation, and rises the quality of products. Well, control is known to suffocate creativity and motivation. Instead of practicing control well, leaders should practice communicating well and being able to establish good relationships with others. They need to be facilitators and enablers versus controllers. And furthermore, a responsibility for end results must be shared among members of an organization. Leaders are not the sole responsible for results. Their primary focus should be institutions of the organization and building that well-shaped and quality working environment. Leaders should be leadership professionals, accomplishing their role, building those institutions, instead of being the superior figures that can have a saying in everything. A role like any other in the company. Write an article about 2 ways of leadership.
The dichotomy of leadership philosophies, performance building versus institution building. In the realm of leadership, 2 fundamentally different philosophies stand out: performance building and institution building. These approaches reflect a deep divergence in thinking and behavior among leaders, influencing how they drive their organizations towards success. Performance building, focused on direct results. Performance building is a leadership style characterized by a strong focus on achieving immediate business and financial success. Leaders who adopt this approach are often tasked by owners or stakeholders with guaranteeing results. Consequently, they tend to establish high-level control systems to ensure that every aspect of the organization is aligned with these objectives. In this model, leaders assume full responsibility for outcomes, often leading to the development of strict, autocratic systems. They want to know what's happening at every level of the company and ensure that everyone is performing their tasks effectively. This approach is built on a foundation of responsibility for results, driving leaders to exert control over their teams and make most of the critical decisions. While performance building can be effective in achieving short-term goals, it may not always foster a creative or innovative environment. The high degree of control and top-down decision-making can limit employee autonomy and potentially stifle new ideas and approaches. Institution building, creating a sustainable environment. In contrast, institution building is a more indirect approach to leadership. Leaders who follow this philosophy focus not on immediate results, but on building the organizational structures, culture, and systems that will drive long-term success. This style of leadership is about creating a platform that enables others to contribute and thrive. Institution building leaders invest in developing a strong organizational culture, effective reward systems, and opportunities for career development. They recognize the importance of a shared purpose and vision, which not only aligns the organization's efforts, but also opens up spaces for more inclusive and participative management. These leaders are known for their ability to motivate, include, and activate a broader spectrum of organizational members. They put significant effort into fostering a just environment, nurturing healthy relationships, and focusing on employee empowerment. By doing so, they create a work culture where innovation and creativity are encouraged, and where employees feel valued and involved in the organization's journey. Leadership in a quantum world. In today's complex, interconnected world, often described as quantum in its nature, the traditional, control-centric approach to leadership is becoming increasingly outdated. This complexity, coupled with the rising importance of human capital, calls for a new kind of leadership. The quantum world demands leaders who are communicators and facilitators rather than controllers. Leadership should be about enabling and empowering rather than dictating and constraining. This shift also involves redefining the leader's role not as the sole bearers of responsibility for results, but as architects of an enabling environment where responsibility and decision-making are shared. Conclusion. In conclusion, the choice between performance building and institution building as leadership philosophies depends on various factors, including organizational goals, culture, and the external environment. While performance building focuses on immediate results through control and directive leadership, institution building fosters long-term success by creating a nurturing and empowering organizational environment. In the complexity of today's world, the latter approach, which emphasizes shared vision, collaboration, and empowerment, seems increasingly relevant and effective. This shift marks a significant evolution in leadership thinking, moving away from traditional paradigms towards a more inclusive and sustainable model of organizational leadership.